Hey guys, welcome back. I got a few requests to do a chart for NETE, N-E-T-E, Net Element Incorporated, and I pulled it up here, and initially my thoughts are actually pretty good on this chart. It looks like some news possibly came out on the 22nd or so for this leap here, and it's continued its uptrend even after this straight vertical jump, which is very nice to see. Normally when you see that, it's going to dip pretty hard back down and retest everything that it just went through. I do like that it's been up since the 13th of September. It seems like before then, though, it was very low volume. Not a lot of people knew about it. So obviously, I haven't looked up any of the SEC filings or anything that's going on. But since the 13th, it's been on quite a steady uptrend, and that's very nice to see. I mean, we're talking 30 cents up to 72 cents right now. That's very nice to see, and I really like that it's retesting these zones, but still going back upwards after. These dips are higher each time, so higher lows and higher highs. That's very nice to see. So I think I'm going to go ahead and chart it. I do like what I'm looking at initially. So let's do like we always do, and let's go to our 60-minute, and let's pull up some indicators and see how those are looking for people trying to jump in now and people that are still in. So let's go ahead and pull up our stochastic momentum in our chart. And as I kind of expected due to how green this was, we are a little bit overbought on both of these. So it'll probably be time to relax pretty soon. But if you look at these past peaks, they stayed overbought for quite a bit. It wasn't too bad. And this one here is looking more like what we're going to get on this one over here, where my mouse cursors are. So I think that it will actually start doing a downtrend pretty soon. But like I said, we're on a continuous uptrend, so it's just going to do a little bit of retracement most likely, but keep going up, in my opinion, right now. Especially if it can get past this peak right here on the 18th before it starts to retest. That would be very good to see. That's going to be the real test, I think, is getting past this previous peak so we can keep this stair-stepping up pattern. Let's see how these look on the daily, though. Okay. And on the daily, we're not as oversold, or overbought, I'm sorry, and they're still going on an uptrend. So that's actually really nice to see, because as you guys know, the daily trend is a lot bigger, longer of a trend. So if you see something happening there, and on a smaller trend, it's most likely that trend. So seeing the positive upticks on this is nice, and seeing it not already in the gray overbought area is also very nice as well. So we still definitely have potential to beat that previous peak right here with the current chart trend, how it looks. Let's go to the 30-minute. Yeah, and as you can see, it's still overbought there, but again, if it can test over this peak, that's going to be great. And actually, I want to go ahead and draw a line there so we can look at it. Okay, so around 81 cents. If it can beat 81 cents before it starts going back down, I would consider that very strong. However, if it starts declining now and going back down and retesting all of this, it's going to be interesting to see how close it gets to all of this previous flat line. Because again, look how long this was. Okay, that's a really long time to be flat and going down, right? So it's got to build support again, which it looks like it has by retracing, but we don't know what the bottom would be if it does start declining again. Again, though, stair-stepping pattern up is good to see. It's not very strong of a stair-step, but it's still a stair-step. And let's go ahead and look at the MACD as well. RSI should be fine based on those that we just saw. And I would really like to see actually the simple moving average and see how it's trading with that. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, MACD, strong up signal, looks like a very strong buy right now. Just going straight up. It's not deviating too far away though. I wish it was maybe a little bit more, just so it had a little bit more power like this. But seeing it nice and steady at this slow incline is very nice to me. And we're trading above the 50 SMA for quite a while, and that dip below it was not very long. So this is looking very strong right now to me. And let's see these both on the daily though. Yeah, and again, you can actually see even better on the daily that it's deviating far. Very strong looking right here, but getting close to that overbought territory, but not there quite yet. And as you can see on the daily, we are way above the 50 MA, but it's been below the 50 MA for what looks like months and months and months. So this could finally be its time for recovery. It looks like, I mean, it likes to be below the 50 MA, but I mean, stocks eventually have to cycle and do things differently. And it looks like now really may be the time. And again, I don't know what news or anything might have happened for this huge candle on the 13th. We could pull it up in another video if we look at this again. I just wanted to do a quick look and not waste too much time tonight on it. But yeah, no, the MACD looks great. 50 SMA looks great. It's looking very strong. I think that it will retest. I don't know when, but it is going to retest after this uptrend. And I really hope it's after 81 cents. So I'd be keeping a close eye on 81 cents and keeping an eye on how many green days we can get a row and see if we can get some big candles like happened here. But my thoughts are it is kind of slowing down because these candles are getting smaller and smaller, right? And these were really big. So we're getting close to what people's price is for what they're going to accept. And I'm not sure if it will get over 81, but that is a great point for it to break to continue its stair-stepping pattern up. And I'd like to go ahead and do just a quick Fib Fan and see if it is sitting on those fibs really nicely, and possibly even use a MACD as our crossing points and go from there. So let's pull up our MACD on the 30, and I would like to go to the bottom of this peak right where it's crossing right here and coming out. We're going to go a little bit ahead right to this green. Let's get rid of this 50 SMA, get our Fib Fan going. Okay, so let's go to the bottom of this candle. And we're going to go to this next MACD crossing down here on the 21st. Okay, that'll be our trend. Alright, so we got our trend mapped out. And it's definitely been way above it, right? If we're using this MACD crossing as an indicator. It's been way above trend, and it's testing down, and it's trying to break out again. So being that it's been so strong and above what the stair stepping is doing, I definitely think it is going to come down and retrace. We just don't know when and how hard that will be. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see the next few days and see if it can continue along this path here and go up above 81. If it does start dipping soon, it probably will go back to around 70 or so, and maybe even, honestly, to the bottom of this huge candle. It may want to refill this and go back down to around 52 cents or so, which is my guess. I think that actually will happen eventually, but I think for right now, you may still have a few more days or a week or so of some nice steady uptrend, according to the MACD and those other things we looked at. Let's also do a quick arc retrace from this peak down here over to this dip and see if we can find any cool coincidences. Okay, wait, let's go to this one here. Okay. So yeah, nothing really too crazy pops out on this one. It looks like it's just steadily breaking through. Not a lot of information there, which is fine. You're not going to always find everything that you need on these fibs. But yeah, I think it's just so strongly above where it's been for so long that it is going to retrace eventually. And again, this is without knowing any news or anything. This is purely chart. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say, honestly. It's pretty simple. Just keep an eye out for the 81 cents. If it breaks it, very strong for seeing more long-term gains. If it starts dipping down below we hit that 81 cents, I'd say you might want to lock in some profits relatively soon. If you are in the green, and if you're not in the green, maybe consider waiting for more of a dip to double down and add some more, depending on how in the hole you are, what your ideas are about where it's going eventually. But again, this was just a very quick look at it. I do like how strong it is, and we just need to make sure it stays strong and keeps going on this up step. If it keeps doing the stair stepping up, we got something going. So we just need to keep going up, maybe follow this trend, beat 81, and things look good. All right, guys, have a good night.